Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here today to share a layout for 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life Round 6. This is day number 9, and I am using my October 2019 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit that I revisited to 2020. Now, along with this kit, when I pulled it out to revisit it for 2020, I added in quite a few little scrap packs from leftover kits that I had created with scrap. I had finished off the kit, but I still had quite a few of the scraps together. So I added them into this kit, and this is one of those layouts that's entirely scraps. And it feels really good to get them used up. Um, yeah, because I hated to toss them out because I loved all the scraps. That's why I held on to them. And this was an old, the scraps for this page are, I want to say, an old Paper Studio collection. Don't ask me the name. I don't remember it right off the top of my head, but yeah, the scraps are just lovely. So here you see I have some tissue paper that I'm putting back behind my photo. And I do that occasionally. I do have color bins where I do have some tissue paper sorted in. And so occasionally for specialty paper, I will pull in some of that tissue paper for layouts or for kits, if you will. That sticker sheet there, I think actually maybe was part of the scraps with this. I don't remember now, but I'm going to use a little bit altogether. The original sketch, I think, used pocket page cards or project life cards, but Christy did hers and used tags, and so I felt like I wanted to do the same thing that she did. I loved the look of all the tags that she created. So that's what I've done here. I've gone through and I've created all these tags out of just pattern paper scraps, and so I am just layering them up there so that they all fit on. And all the embellishments I have already pulled. As I've been working through these sketches, some days I will do more than one layout in a day. I kind of batch them up if I am pressed for time, or, and so in doing that, I will have everything cut out and ready to go, mostly, um, before I get to it. And so that's what's going on here. I had spent some time, cut all of these papers and embellishments out, pulled all the pieces that I wanted to use on the layout together, and then finally get to the point where I turn the camera on and film the whole process. I've got that washi tape there, and it is I think from Walmart, and it has a very glossy coating to the gold to it. But it turned out beautiful. And that sticker there is way old. I've had it forever. I bought a whole roll, Adam, of them, and so I was able to get several used that I've put into this kit already. Sometimes when you have a kit that you haven't pulled out and played with in a very long time, you forget a lot of the stuff that's in it. And that's kind of how I felt when I pulled this one out. Um, of course, it's over a year old, or right at a year old, and I just had not pulled it out in the last year to even look at it. So it feels good to be able to have it out and get it used so that it doesn't have to reside on my shelf anymore. And this product is all older stuff. The only thing that I really added into it for 2020 were the scraps. So all of the product is at least a year or more old. Most of it is well over, a couple of years old. It may not have been brand new when I first purchased it. It may have been bought at a discount store. So you can tell in that case, then it's pretty old. And I'm pretty good about doing that. I don't always spend a lot of money buying the absolute newest, the latest, the greatest. I'm okay to wait for bits and pieces to trickle into the discount stores like Tuesday morning, and buy it, or the knockoffs to come out at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I'm good with that. And I think that's, a lot of us do that, not necessarily out shopping for the latest and the greatest. But I love to watch the designers who do purchase all that stuff. And it's so easy whenever you come back to it, at a later date, and look for inspiration that to use that product, when it's been out for a while, because there's typically all sorts of inspiration that those designers who always get the latest and the greatest, the newest stuff, there's always tons of inspiration from them using those products, even though, they're not the newest anymore. Pinterest is like that too. I find that sometimes I can put a collection name in and I will have all kinds of hits, especially on older products. But if it's a brand new product, yeah, there's not typically always a lot out there on Pinterest. So I like, having the older stuff to, um, get more inspiration from the old, from older layouts or designers who scrapbooked with it when it was, the top stuff coming out, the newest, the latest, the greatest. But here I took a piece of twine and I poked holes in those little, word phrases that were popped out of a, sheet from no, sorry, Alpha Dots from Scrapworks. Um, and so I strung them across there to create a little banner. And I'm adding a few little chipboard pieces and a few, other little stickers there. I put down a piece of twine. It is crochet floss. So that the word love, love, love was a pretty light colored wood. So I am taking my, I think it's saddle ink from Close to My Heart, and it's already on the ink dauber, and I'm just mashing it around on that, where it says love, 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 to darken it up just a little bit so it doesn't look so stark against that background paper. I love how that looks. Absolutely adore how this layout came together. And I'm going to show you here in just a second. I have, you can see all those buttons that are laying around. I have this thing with buttons. Um, I don't ever feel like I can put a button on a page without having thread in it. And so I can be a little bit neurotic about that. And so, you'll see in a minute, I'm going to show you, I'm going to thread all of those buttons, and put a knot in them all, just to give it the look. And the banners that go across the top, again, all scraps. I just went through, and I think they're all the same length. I just went through and cut a banner shape into them, a fishtail shape into them, and then just strung them up across there. I will do some stitching along that top as well, and I think the inspiration page, the inspiration sketch, had some stitching up there. And so getting out my trusty Close to My Heart ruler that has the stitch guide in it, where you can poke your holes. And sometimes I will take, a stick pin that has a big ball on the end of it and just go across there and poke the holes, and then come back with my awl that makes a bigger hole and put holes in it so that my needle and thread will go through the paper. And so when I start a page, rather than put a knot in the back, I always tape that, first string down, because if you put a knot in there over the course of time in your scrapbook, it's going to create a bump on the front of the, layout. So I'm showing you there that I'm stitching, and here I have finished the stitching. That is the only place that I added stitching to, so just right across that top. And I've gone through and I have put knots, put the crochet thread into all the buttons, and I've tied, most of them I've tied a little knot on the front of. And so, I'm just going through and gluing them all down. I use the buttons to fill in the holes that I created using a couple of circle punches. Um, I made it look like that ring that a tag normally has, but I didn't cut the interior hole out of the paper. Excuse me. So, and across the top, I have added bits and pieces. There's a tag, there's chipboard bits, um, and I'm going to use all sorts of enamel dots and all sorts of embellishments across the top to add a lot of dimension up there as well. And you know, this is one of my favorite layouts. It has all of my favorite paper scraps on it. I love, love, love those. And then it has all of these buttons on it. Also love, love, love those. It has stitching on it. It has a banner. Um, yeah, there's nothing on here that I don't absolutely adore. This layout to me just turned out so well. And I'm just looking through the sticker pack there to see if there's anything on there as far as words that I might want to use. I opt not to, and then I'm going to put my journaling down, and it's all about the t-shirt that I'm wearing. I have scrapbooked this t-shirt before, and it's one that my daughter-in-law made me, and it says, "My favorite people call me Sweetie." And that's because my grandma name is Sweetie, and my husband's grandpa name is Grumpy. So it's kind of a play on words that my kids came up with. Anywho, so I am at the end of the layout. I'm going to add the finishing touches here in just a minute with all of the enamel dots, etc., as you'll see in just a minute. I do have close-ups at the end of the video, so if you want to stick around for that, feel free. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the next video. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. And I would love to have anybody who hasn't already subscribed and you're interested, please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell notification. And you will be notified whenever I post a layout. Anyway, guys, see you on the next video. Bye-bye.